Good evening. Thank you for your time this evening. My name is Lillian Muli and it's time for Fashion Watch. Catch us right here on Citizen TV every Saturday as we bring you the latest fashion trends. We tell you what's in, what's not. With the Fashion Watch panel, the hashtag is Fashion Watch, by the way, or SMS us using 22422. Our celebrity panelist in studio this evening, Annabelle Onyango. She is a celebrity fashion stylist and she's with us on Fashion Watch every Saturday right here on Citizen TV. Also with us is Robert Barale. He is an image consultant, motivational speaker, and he is with us on the Fashion Watch every Saturday. With us as well is award-winning fashion journalist Carol Odero, also looking at your fashion trends, telling you what's stylish and what is not. And from New York City, visiting us tonight, and we're so excited that he's with us in studio, Zeddy Lockie of Narok NYC. He is a celebrity designer. He will be joining us tonight, critiquing your trends and telling us a little bit about what he's been up to. We will be talking to Zeddy later on. Let's begin with what's been happening. We're starting with Couture Africa's 3rd anniversary that happened today at Sankara. And so this, I don't know, I saw a lot of people in red. Annabelle, so let's start with what stands out for you here. Out of the two girls, tell us about which one stands out for you.
Lils, were you there today?
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there either. But yeah, it seems like the memo was dressed in red because that's the Couture Africa colors. And of the two, I really like the lady on the right. She's clearly, you know, short-statured, but I love the fact that she's worn a really simple silhouette. You know, that one shoulder. Sort of statement with a I guess 2 Afro Masai necklace. I just like the simplicity of it. I wonder why she's wearing sunglasses though.
Yeah.
I wear sunglasses inside, but I thought I was the only one. Yeah, I mean, the sunglasses are odd, but I really like the simplicity of the silhouette.
Bob?
Yeah, I agree with Annabelle. She looks good, nothing too complicated. The lady in white, I wish the outfit was a bit more body-hugging, not too much. But also, I don't understand why people take indoor photos with sunglasses on. It's too cheesy for me.
I do it.
Stop it.
Cara, I saw you give Bob a look. I don't know, when he said that the white dress should have been better fitted.
He said body hugging, specifically body hugging. That's why I was looking at him in amazement, because that's not what he usually says. Like, what got into you, really? Are you sure? I love the red outfit. It reminds me of an outfit that J-Lo once wore on a red carpet and hers was green. It actually is almost a replica of that outfit. It's a very classic, very beautiful, very elegant shape, and it works on all the women beautifully. I don't like the shades. I don't know why she's wearing them, really. I don't understand. The lady in white is not so striking because she's standing next to the lady in red. So, you know, when you want to be able to stand out on your own merit, not because you're standing next to someone who looks good.
Zeddy, you know, New York, 5th Avenue, you know, wow. I don't know, how far behind are we in terms of fashion trends, just looking at how Kenyans are stepping out? And for you, these two ladies, which look stands out for you?
I was there earlier today, and I'll go with the lady on the left, the one in white.
Yeah.
I love the dress, you know, it's kind of short. She's showing her legs, you know, she got pretty legs, to be honest. You know, and I love the heels as well.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, I saw them. They had a great energy earlier when I was at Sankara. So I mean, I love the fact that Kenyan fashion is catching up. You know, we're getting somewhere. The fact that we had the event today, it kind of looked, it had the New York vibe. I mean, we're not there yet, but we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So Zeddy is the only one who gives the girl in white a thumbs up. Everybody else thinks no. I don't know.
Maybe that's what they're doing these days in New York.
Not really. I mean, she looks confident enough in what she's wearing.
Okay. So who did it better for you? Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Let's proceed. See who else was there. Okay, so this guy here stepping out, and I'm going to start with you, Zeddy, on this one, because we're going to be talking well-fitted suits, what it is that you do pretty much. And so this guy went with the wide lapels and the I don't know, this whole matchy red thing. I don't, well, let me hear from you. What do you think about the theme was white and red, by the way. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I love the fact that he did the red and white. He kept it real simple. But he can improve on the fit of the jacket. It's a little bit tight.
Yeah?
You know, it's short as well.
Short where?
the balance, like the length of the jacket, the front. If you look at the biceps up to the sleeves, they're pretty tight. You know, you can see he's kind of like a little bit, you know, feeling tight in the jacket. The lapel, I mean, it's cleaner. It looks clean, shawl lapel. The loafers that he's got on, I would have done something else, but
like,
not the,
like
maybe I'll just keep it simple, white. You know, just break the red on top, and the, you know, he's got the tie, he's got the lapel pin, the blazer, you know, the watch is too big, so I'll change that.
And interestingly, you said that this blazer looks a bit tight. What should you be able to do ideally with a blazer on? How should you know? You know, the whole stretching and the... How do you know whether... I mean, the basics. Carol is being a ballerina. That's how you know.
I mean, you should
Can
be
you
able to
hug
move.
someone?
Yeah?
You should
Can
be
you
able to
lean
move.
forward? Can you bend?
Well, it shouldn't be that tight, but you should be able to move. You know, if you look at my blazer, well, when it comes to bespoke, what we basically do is we try to carve you. So we take skin measurements and we add a certain allowance that allows you to move freely. So if you look at his biceps, when he kind of like tries to fold his arm, it's pretty tight. You know, there's no room for him to, you know, he can't even hold his phone. I don't think he can.
Okay, Carol, let's talk about this red and white. And I know, you know, probably Olive's invite said, yes, theme was red and white. But, I mean, really, is this overkill? Does it look good? What do you think?
Well, it is overkill. I think there is this balance that, again, we as Kenyans, we need to learn. There is a certain ease you're supposed to have with the clothes you wear. So we tend to be either too conservative or we go overboard when we are formal. See, the tie is unnecessary. I don't understand why he has a tie with that kind of lapel. It's supposed to have a bow tie. I think the lapels are too wide. I think it makes the blazer look too short. Like you said, it's weird. It makes it also look longer than it should. I don't like the shoes. If you wanted to wear loafers, they probably should not have the... what is it called, the shoelaces, because that's not the kind that works with the tuxedo that has a lapel that's white and that wide. Yeah.
And then again, Bob, when I saw this guy, I was like, wow, he looks nice.
Yeah.
Does he?
I like the way he looks. I wish he had another color shirt and lose the tie. In fact, don't even have it near the building. Red shoes okay, but I wish they were more plain. Right color, but more plain, because it breaks off the white. Yes, the jacket is, as Eddie says, a bit too tight. Basically, if it was to dance, he would only have to dance to slow music. Otherwise, buttons would be flying all over the place. But I like the whole look. Just lose the belt, and I wish he had made, not the belt rather, but a tie, and maybe an off-white shirt. Yeah.
Annabelle, what are you thinking?
Shame. I want to rescue this poor guy from the gutter that you guys have put him in. I mean, I always like to commend people who have made an effort. And this guy clearly has made an effort. He's not wearing jeans and a T-shirt like most Kenyan guys show up at events that you should see the others. Yeah. This guy has clearly made an effort. He's following the dress code. And I think he looks really nice. I mean, yes, the suit may not fit perfectly, but I appreciate the effort that he's put in. I like the fact that there's different layers of red there, that it's not all the same shade of red. And I like that. I would say that the shoe is wrong. I think if you're going to wear a sort of tuxedo-type jacket, you need a more formal shoe. So the loafer is all wrong, and I think the red is too matchy-matchy, like you said. But otherwise, I mean, A for effort.
Okay.
But you want to be the guy who people say, you look nice.
I think he looks nice.
He looks good.
I think he looks nice.
I'm sure he was among the best dressed. I mean, Zeddy was there, so clearly.
I mean, he caught
after
my attention. He caught my attention.
He caught your attention.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. And then again, if this was New York, would he have stuck out like a sore thumb? I don't know. But then again, this, well, let's talk about this tutu skirt. Same event, and she has this cute tutu. Annabelle, how stylish is this 2016 August?
Yeah, the ballerina tutu has been around for a minute. I think that's what you're trying to imply, Lillian. That we've seen this look. I feel like the look is done.
Yeah.
still, she looks cute in it. I really like it.
Is that the appropriate length for the
Yeah,
tutu?
I think it's cute. I mean, I think with the tutu skirt, you can either go midi or you can go short or you can go knee-length. She's doing the right thing. I love her little top knot. I think that adds sort of length to her body, especially with such a voluminous skirt. I don't know if the audience can see at home, but I think she's wearing the wrong shoe. For some reason, if you're going to wear a tutu skirt, let that be the statement and don't wear a shoe that kind of competes with it. She's wearing some kind of crystal shoe. I think her shoe should have been nude so that her skirt just makes the statement.
Yeah, Bob.
I think she looks absolutely fantastic. I've seen ladies wearing these skirts were a bit too short, whereby when you walk, you're almost kind of seeing some things you're not supposed to see. And I love the fact that she's understood her body very well. It's not too all over the place. And with a fitting top, I don't think I can fault this look.
Carol, let's talk about the tutu for you. Should we do away with it? Are we not supposed to be talking about these skirts on this show going forward? I mean, we've done this, I think, for a minute now, yeah?
I don't want to be the one who is known as the woman who bans the tutus in Nairobi. They've been around, I think, what, it's been 3 going on 4 years?
Yeah.
It's been quite a while, as Annabelle said. Look, I still love this. It's still a very classic look. It has a very feminine shape. It has an hourglass figure to it. And I actually disagree with Annabelle. I love her shoes. I think they're interesting because her clothes, as much as they might be red and white, you know, it still has a simplicity to it that allows her to do the shoe that's more interesting. Yeah.
So Zeddy, I was having a conversation with Zeddy the other day, and he was telling me how, you know, Kenyans are so big on brands, Michael Kors, whatnot. We're carrying around these handbags. So let's talk about the tutu, just digressing a little bit. How fashionable is this in the year 2016?
I mean, it was a fashion event, so, you know, in New York, what we do during Fashion Week, you bring out your style. You know, there are no limits. But I think she was a model, and she kind of like was caught in between, and the cameraman took her picture. But I love her pose, I love her hair. You know, the skirt, you can see her waist, her small waist.
Yeah.
So I think she looks fashionable. I love it.
So a win for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's proceed to see what else was happening. Same event, jumpsuit with a little bit African detail. Bob, let's hear from you. I see you nodding in complete disapproval, rather shaking your head.
It's a kind of look that you'd get lost in a crowd of 2 people. There's nothing vavavoom about it.
I knew you were going to say vavavoom.
Even the pose, she doesn't look very confident. Her pose is not telling me, you know what, I got it all. So how you dress will actually determine how you carry yourself. If you don't dress in a striking way, even your posture, how you walk, even how you hold the wine glass will just be apologetic. And I think she should have done better. Nothing, not bad, but nothing to write home about, with all due respect.
Karen, what are you thinking about this jumpsuit?
Well, I love the jumpsuit. In and of itself, it's a nice outfit. And I love that she's decided to show off her broad shoulders, which look great. But, you know, while the jumpsuit is supposed to be worn with a kind of simplicity, she's gone a little too simple. You know, the shoes are nude, but they look like wedges, so they make her look like she's flat, so they don't give her any length. Her face is too plain, and yet she has such a beautiful face. She could have made something pop. I feel she's not making use of her assets, so this jumpsuit is bringing her down. But it's not the jumpsuit that's bad, it's just that she needs more attitude and confidence in it.
Yeah, Zeddy, what are you thinking about this jumpsuit?
She should improve on her shoes. You know, smile and work on her pose.
Yeah.
That's it.
Annabelle.
Zeddy's right. I think a smile goes a long way in terms of making you look good. Like when you look confident and you look like you're feeling yourself, then you can't lose. Also, I would say the jumpsuit in itself is fine. There's nothing wrong with that jumpsuit. It's just that on top, she hasn't done enough to balance the look. For example, she doesn't have big earrings. She hasn't done anything with her hair. So it feels like she's wearing an outfit and then the top is kind of plain. So it feels like an incomplete outfit. Shame.
Okay, so
actually, this is a perfect example of an outfit wearing you instead of you wearing it. Yeah.
Okay, so a total fail here, at least as voted by the Fashion Watch panel. What do you think? Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Okay, so same event, but she chose not to go with the whole red and white theme. So she did this look. She chose this. Bob.
All I can say, she's an extremely beautiful lady, but the outfit, there's too much going on. Of course, we are seeing through her body, so that takes attention. Then the shoes are also too busy. So you're trying to compete up and down, and you know, by the time people are trying to get to understand who you are, you've even already gone, and you are in another room. So I think there's too much going on. I wish you'd have gone maybe a bit easy on either the top or the bottom. Look at the shoes, too many laces, so they would attract your attention. And the top bit, of course, it would attract even a blind man. So I just wish you'd have decided which one to go easy. And if I were her, I would be a bit more covered on the top, and you can play with the shoes.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Annabelle, please break this down.
I mean, I'm obviously on the opposite of the end of the spectrum, as always.
Yeah.
I love this look. I think this girl has a fashion perspective.
Yeah.
It's very vampy. She's chosen to go black head to toe, which we love. It's a refreshing thing from the red and white. I love a sheer blouse. I think it's very sexy. And I love a black choker. That's very current. All the cool girls are doing it. And I love the fact that there's a lot going on, but because it's in the same color, which is black, it makes it, you know, work. She's very confident. I love this look. I would wear it tomorrow.
Carol, would you wear this tomorrow?
Oh, yes. In fact, I would have worn it today if I had it. But, you know, I think she looks great. It's beautiful, it's sexy, it's confident. And this actually works because it's monochrome, and it's a great way to update the menswear trend if you're a woman. Because it makes you look very feminine when you're wearing something that's masculine. The shoes are perfect because there's the simplicity to the silhouette. So it actually works for her. And if you're going to go vampy, go all the way. Don't hold back. The only thing I would say, I actually wish she had done is just unzipped just a slight.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Hey.
Okay.
From mix to the look.
Yeah, so Zeddy, a win or a fail for you?
She looks sexy in the look. I love it. But I'd improve on the whatever she's carrying. I'd do a black pass. Yeah.
The crotch. Okay, yeah. Good pointer. Okay. So we're moving on, I believe, to another event now. And this is Africa. And Zeddy, tell us about this look. So you have this tuxedo jacket on, but tell us about that look, that Chinese collar. Tell us about what you had on that particular event.
Well, I had just arrived from New York, and a friend of mine told me there was an event, so I wasn't prepared, but I'm always prepared, you know. That's a dinner jacket, actually.
Yeah.
It's made out of a brocade fabric. I love to use
This is designed by you?
Yeah. I love to use non-traditional fabrics to create you know, dinner jacket, tags, and stuff like that. So right now, most people are wearing the Mandarin collar. You know, it's pretty easy at night. You don't have
it's Mandarin, not Chinese. Chinese is so 2002. Wow. You guys are the experts.
And I didn't feel like wearing a tie or bow tie. Sometimes it's just too much, you know. So I just felt like I just want to throw something on me and dash out of the house.
What's up with that shoe? Just totally going unconventional and not like going with a shoe. Like if Mercy will allow us to take a look at the shoes that Zeddy has on.
Yeah.
Why going with that very rustic sort of not your everyday shoe? That's not what you see a lot when people do that whole formal stepping out look.
Well, I'm not a regular guy. Plus, you know, I'm a designer. And like I said, the blazer, it's a dinner jacket out of a brocade fabric. It has a rough look to it. And those are Chelsea boots, so which are in right now, you know, Saint Laurent. So I just felt like, you know, being radical with the whole look.
Yeah. And by the way, Zeddy is Kenyan. Let's hear from Carol. Talk to us about Sylvia. I see Sylvia there, and I think Washuka. One boy, yes. Let's talk about, first of all, what you think of Zeddy's look, and then let's talk about the ladies.
No, I've never critiqued someone sitting right next to me. And after you said,
be the second time.
I know. After you said all of that, I don't even know what to add. You know, YSL shoes and, you know, brocade and Mandarin collar. I'm just going to let that rest.
Not Chinese.
I know, not Chinese collar, yes. I'm just going to let that rest. I love what Omboy and Sylvia are wearing because it's a very interesting way of using fabric to express yourself. You see, Sylvia doesn't usually wear tight-fitting clothes. She has a way of draping fabric around her that makes it work for her. And then, like I said, Omboy has this interesting cape. The cape trend is still very hot right now. And I love that she paired it with African print. So it's a great way of making the look very modern, very fresh, giving it her own perspective. And since they're both stylists, you know, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, Bob, we're used to seeing girls in Nairobi stepping out all dolled up, and now we're seeing the likes of Zeddy there looking pretty stylish. Tell us about what you think about his look and the ladies.
I love Zeddy's look. I wish you had the shoes you have on right now. It would be now the
because
most...
Kenyans are very conservative.
Yes. It would be the most complete look. With the mandarin collar, it's very good, but for people like us whose Adam's apple are very protruding, when you have that very low collar, it just makes it even look like an eyesore.
First world problem.
So, I'll tell you the truth, when you have that collar, even with Adam's apple, your Adam's apple is on the cover, you know? So for someone like me, it would really come out. So it's a look I love, but I would want a bit, the collar should be a bit higher to hide this thing that is coming out.
Bob.
But I love the look. It tells me of a man who understands what it's all about. I love how the ladies look, because now in this country, especially in Nairobi, where there's a function, when you show too much skin, then you're known as smart. But these are ladies who are proving that you don't have to show too much skin to look classy. Right. Because we have this thing in Kenya. If you show 60% of Thailand, then you're okay. But this is a fantastic look, and kudos to the gentleman and the two ladies.
I
Kudos.
like my Thailand dresses, just to confirm that.
Okay.
Adam, that's all I'm going to be looking at now.
That's so funny.
I know. What do you think?
I mean, I love to see this picture because this is fashion, Kenyan fashion people from the diaspora and locally as well. And I love to see them coming together and really challenging Kenyans about conventions, about fashion. I love how you deconstructed that blazer or the tuxedo jacket. I think people often think that to wear a tuxedo jacket you have to sort of be very formal head to toe. And sometimes you don't have to be, and you can break it up and wear it casually to an event. Wambui Thimba is a fashion stylist, and so is Sylvia Njoki, who's a Bake Award-winning style blogger. And I love what these girls are wearing. Sylvia Njoki, I mean, this outfit is just so wonderful. It's a West African-inspired, like a bada kind of a situation. I love it so much. I love the fact that she has that choker. We're seeing a choker again for the second time tonight. And Wambui Thimba, who's wearing a Kenyan designer called Njama Helena. Yeah, these people are repping. This is how fashionable people, this is what they do. They just look good.
Yeah, okay. Send in your thoughts, please, using the hashtag FashionWatch. Let's proceed. Okay, so here we are at the Next Generation Fashion Weekend event. This was held at the Michael Joseph Center. This is an event for upcoming designers. So once again, talking about men and suits, Zeddy, I want to talk about the gentleman who has broken his suit. He has the jeans and the jacket on. Is this a trend that we should go with? We're going to 2017 now. This is 2016. What do you think about this look? Actually, out of the two gentlemen, well, for me, I'm sorry, okay, let's just get your thoughts before I give you my thoughts.
What time was the event? Was it a daytime event or nighttime?
I think it was evening, yes, it was evening, yeah.
Well, I love the fact that he tried to, wear a black jean, which I recommend mostly after 6. So for me, when I dress up, I like to break my clothing nighttime and daytime. Daytime, I'll do like bright colors. Nighttime, after 6, I'll switch it up to dark colors.
So the bright colors, the pants, the guy with the bright colors, that ideally would have been a better day look.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the blazer that he has on, the one that has a patch, the sport jacket, I don't think it goes well with the jean and the brown shoes. I'd change the shoes. I'd do like a black shoes lace up, black jacket. I think he'll be safer than what he has on right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, let's proceed, see what else was happening. So Zeddy says the guy in the black jeans looks better. So Annabelle, I want to get your thoughts on this runway look. Tell us about this look for you. Again, this is an upcoming designers event. Is this a win for you, this particular dress?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always have to be careful when we go from critiquing real people to critiquing runway looks, because there's a completely different standard to judge these things by. This is obviously not a street look. It's an editorial look. It's a designer look, and usually designer looks, they're presented on the runway and then they diffuse into the shops for people to wear. So when it goes to the shops, it doesn't look like this. It looks like a more wearable version, ready to wear. I really like this look. I love feathers. I love feathers and I love black. And I love the combination of these. I love the way that these feathers kind of overwhelm her on top, and then the balance with the very sort of minimalist skirt on the bottom. I love this, and I would actually wear this as streetwear.
Great. Let's proceed to see what else we have for you tonight. This is our last image tonight before we go into what Zeddy has. Zeddy is all about. Carol, I want to talk about this jacket on this girl, the fit of it. You know, just paired with those pants. What do you think about this look?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to comment on this because I was actually one of the judges, and I have a list of who the winners are, and I know who that is, and it can only be announced on September 3rd. So I don't think that it would be fair for me to comment on one of the competitors here.
Okay, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't like that jacket at all. It just doesn't fit. You know, it's like maybe she was told you're next on stage and her jacket wasn't there and she picked a smaller jacket. Yes, I know, looking at her hair and her facial expression, she's someone with attitude. But attitude must also be controlled because the outfit must be acceptable. Yeah. It doesn't complement her body at all.
Zeddy, do the same rules apply for ladies? Do you design for ladies as well? When you talk about fit and, you know, the fact that women, of course, have boobs. So the fit of the jacket for the ladies, do you consider the same things you consider when you're designing for a guy?
Yeah, I do women's clothing infrequently. It's a bit tricky, just like you said, especially around the chest area. You know, not the chest, but that jacket is a little bit tight under the bust, and it's a little bit short as well. Just a tiny bit. It can come down to just balance the whole, you know, jacket.
Clearly, it just does not fit, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed now and take a look at Zeddy's profile. Zeddy Loki, this is our celebrity guest designer in studio this evening, has spent the last decade making his mark in menswear, from launching a denim brand in Kenya, Blackbird Jeans, for those of you who remember him from back in the day, to influencing New York City's fashion circles. Zeddy has got the eyes of international fashion trendsetters, and his stylish trench coats, jeans, jackets booked him slot in several fashion weeks held in New York. He's our guest in studio this evening. Zeddy, thank you very much for joining us. I want to take you way back because we're looking at you, the stylish person who sounds almost very American. Tell us where this started for you, your journey. I know, talking to you, you talked briefly about actually having a stall at Kenyatta Market. Tell us how small you started before you became this big household name.
I always say it's a gene that you're born with it, and then it depends on how you nurture it. I was born in Eldoret. You know, my mom wasn't a seamstress or my dad was a tailor, but I was brought up wearing second-hand clothing. I sold second-hand clothing as well, and I appreciate second-hand clothing. So you'll see me at Thrift Social. For those of you who know Too Many Siblings, you know, they do this event called Thrift Social. So I appreciate second-hand clothing. My mom's best friend sells second-hand clothing as well. So it's something that I grew up around, okay? And I never knew that I was going to get into fashion or anything like that. But what happened is I was in Nakuru and I met a group of young guys just like myself, and they were tailoring jeans, and I fell in love with the craft. I fell in love with the sewing machine, and I stayed around the workshop and I picked up some skills. And I moved to Nairobi. I played rugby for Strathmore. I remember I used to sell juice, you know, back and forth after the games and stuff like that. And I did a fashion show and she was a judge. And I remember she never loved my stuff. Not that you never loved it. It's just that she wasn't feeling the drop crotch. But that was our signature look. Which
the drop crotch, the ones that she calls the diaper pants.
Yeah, the ones Ian calls the diaper pants, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that actually caught the eyes of, you know, fashion buyer by the name Tracy Kebata. She's Kenyan. And through her, we got a slot at the Africa Fashion Week, New York.
Okay.
Then we just flew down and did what we do.
So you said you did not have any formal fashion training whatsoever.
Yep.
This was just a passion for you.
Right.
Okay. So before I get into more of my line of questioning, let me invite the panelists, starting with Annabelle, to talk to you about what you're all about. Annabelle, shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's so exciting to see Zeddy here. I've known you since back in the day of Blackbird Jeans, you and Sydney Owino, and how we were watching you even before Fashion Week. And I loved those diaper pants that you guys came up with. And you guys also were one of the first to introduce the Masai Shuka worn as menswear. And now you've gone to New York and you've blown up and you've come back to visit us. And I was wondering, what are your plans for the future? Are you... It's so amazing for us to be inspired by a success story like yours. It's not a success story because you live in New York now, but it's a success story because you do so well, and you're a stylist, and you're a suit maker, and you do it for the who's who of Hollywood. What are your plans for the long term? Do you plan to come back and sort of give a little bit of what you've learned, or are you going to grow and develop in the U.S.?
I won't really vocalize my vision, but I'll tell you, we're destined for greatness. Yeah. And I mean, I'm here to influence menswear, fashion as a whole. And I have a product right now. That's one thing that I'm happy about, you know, a product that I can sell globally. You know, working with master tailors in New York, great factories, you know, the best of the best tailors in the industry as my mentors. That really inspires me to, you know, come back and try and, you know, influence the fashion industry in Kenya. I mean, New York is where you make the dream, and back home is where you make the money.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'm back.
Yeah. Right. So your brand name, Narok NYC, tell us about that. What was that about? How did that come about?
Blackbird, I started it with my friend, my good friend Sydney, and then I went back to New York. And, you know, New York kind of gets crazy with time. It's not easy, you know. So Narok means black water, and for me, water flows. Okay, so it's just like how I flow in New York and how I move in New York, and I felt like the name is pretty simple. And one time I was on a call with my brother, and he said he's in Narok visiting his girlfriend, and I said I like that name. So I just picked Narok and went with it.
Interesting, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, for me, listening to you, I'd not met you before, but listening to you, I hope even the upcoming guys who think maybe life is a bit too, they're trying and they're not breaking forth. I think your story is very encouraging, that passion will open doors that even maybe some things cannot open, even finances or academics. But for me, the question I want to ask you, of course, as you come back home to visit family and friends, you want to look at business opportunities. Right. Looking at your designs, they're not the cheapest in the market. How are you going to convince the Kenyan men who want to look smart, you know, wanting to buy wine but on a changa price? How are you going to convince people that, yes, you're giving them something good and they need to part with the top dollar?
Well, my services are a bit aggressive in terms of the prices, and
unapologetically.
It's not even that, it's just the work that goes into the product, you know. I mean, if you're driving a Mercedes, you can't have a Mercedes with a Toyota World Cup, you know. So it has to...
Touché.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's not for everyone, but sometimes someone will call you and say, my budget is $500, and, you know, I'll take you to a Goodwill store, we can buy a jacket for maybe... I mean, it's all about helping, you know, trying to give back at the same time. So, Kenya is doing so well, I'll tell you that, okay? And being here for the last couple of days, I've been shocked myself. You know, there's a lot of money, you know, guys are driving big cars, you know, big engines. And I'd say those are people that I know for sure. Like I said, if you're driving a Mercedes, a Range Rover, like one of my friends that I know, you have to dress the part, okay? So, yeah.
Yeah. So what's your price range, though? Shock us or inform us. what are your suits retailing for? And by the way, if you saw from our pictorial there, Zeddy here actually dressed Janet Mbogo's husband, Eddie Ndichu, during their amazing, beautiful wedding, and he shared that information with me. That's Eddie right there. So, and Janet was actually sharing with me how amazing this suit was, how Eddie loved it. So what are your suits retailing for?
Let me tell you a story about that suit.
Yeah.
I was asleep, and I woke up in the morning and I got his email. He told me, Janet told me you do some suits and I'd love your advice. So the thing is, he had to send his measurements to New York, and I had to make it in a couple of weeks and send it back. The good thing about it is it fit him like perfect, without even like, oh, you know, this needs to be changed or that needs to be changed.
He didn't have to send it back and say, I don't like
so
this
happy.
fit, I don't, okay.
He was so happy. So
yeah,
I'll say they start from $3,000.
$3,000 is 300,000 Kenya shillings.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's on the lower side.
I have 3 products when it comes to suiting. I have True Bespoke, which involves handwork, full canvas. That's what you call bespoke. The word bespoke is being used around by everybody. You know, anyone that wakes up in the morning, goes and buys fabric, takes it to the tailor. You know, they say they're doing bespoke. Okay, but the thing is, when you're talking about bespoke, you're talking about a garment that's beautifully constructed, full canvas. The canvas itself contains horsehair, so that's what gives you the shape. Okay, and the more you wear it, the more it fits your body and takes the shape of your body. Okay, and then we do hand button. Every buttonhole is done by hand. You know, this is what we call a doctor's sleeve. If you're able to see your...
Okay, yes, Marcy, if we can get a shot on that. That's the doctor's sleeve.
Yeah,
Let's
your buttonholes are supposed
side.
to be... You're able to open. You can pull a doctor's sleeve. And if you look inside, you can see these are hand details. The finishing itself is done by hand.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that makes it...
You're going to make Kenyan men throw away this.
They have money, though.
Yeah. Carol, please forward your question to Zeddy.
Well, I'm curious because you work with a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
And these are men's men, you know, they're strong, they're extroverted, they're celebrities. What do you think it is about them that makes them interested in fashion, especially bespoke, where you have to go for fittings over and over, as opposed to the conservative Kenyan idea that being interested in fashion is odd? So what is it that makes them different as men, that makes them appreciate fashion?
So, for example, basketball, the rules changed. If you're not playing, you have to have a suit on or a jacket on while you're on the bench.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so back then you'd find our players coming to the game with jeans, you know, they're sagging or anything like that, T-shirts. But the rule kind of changed to, depending with their sponsors and stuff like that. So it's a must for you. If you're not playing and you're on the bench, you have to have a suit on. So it's really great to work with them. I have worked with Derek Williams, LeBron James, done jeans for LeBron, Carmelo Anthony. You know, so it's a blessing to work with them. But the thing is, with them, you see, they have the money to spend. Okay, it's different there. Their work is to play ball, you know, and your work is to make them look good. So I think in Kenya as well, if people can transform that mentality and have that mentality whereby you focus on what you do and let the stylist focus on getting you clothes. I think that's going to drive the fashion industry onto the next level, whereby it's like going to the gym. I always use this analogy. If I'm to get into this handsome physique like Tyson Beckford, for example, right? If I'm to go to the gym, when I get to the gym instructor is going to tell me, he's going to give me a routine workout, right? So the same thing as a stylist. If I'm to work with you, your work is to come here and, you know, sit there and talk to the audience, right? My work is to make you look good. So what I do is I teach men how to dress, how to develop a sense of style and confidence in them.
And not only that, but they trust you.
Right.
I mean, it's really a trust relationship where the stylist is good enough. When you're paying $3,000 and up for a suit, you're putting that's a lot of money. So there has to be a trust relationship.
Right.
Yeah, and amongst your high-profile guests right here in the country. Sasha Mutai, I saw on your IG that you were working, on a suit for him.
Right.
So good job, Zeddy. Tell us your assessment very quickly before we take your tweets of what our Kenyan athletes wore to the Olympics. We were critiquing that last week. Everybody here was so upset about the red and the little slug. So what would you have better dressed them in, the gentlemen particularly?
In suits.
Okay.
Suits, to be honest, and you can add a touch of the, I mean, we always, when it comes to fashion in Kenya, it's all about Ankara print, it's all about the Masai Shuka. I mean, that's cool, okay, but I'm looking at it from a fashion perspective, whereby I don't really necessarily have to have the Masai Shuka to pass a message across that, oh, we are Kenyans and we're in the Olympics. There's a way you can go about doing things. You can use the piping, as a detail, and you'll still pass the message. But I think that it's time for us to change the look for real.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be asking you to, at some point, stand and have our cameraman just get tilt up of what ideally a suit should look like or fit like, at least from Zeddy's perspective. Let's take your tweets, please. Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Please keep tweeting. Okay, you're saying, I love the lady in white. Men love anything that exposes the legs. By the way, the lady in white looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The style is great. The jumpsuit somehow looks incomplete. It's, however, a beautiful piece. It just needed extra punch. That lady in all black really exposed Eve's apples. A transparent top needs something opaque inside.
No, it does not.
Okay. Wamboye Simba's look is very fashion forward. The cape is in vogue. I love Zeddy's coat. The fabric is just exquisite. This is Brian Mush 55. Okay, so Zeddy, if you would do us the honor, please. Would like to get a shot of Please Be Upstanding. Want to see what Zeddy has on. That is your camera right there. Yes. So tell us a little bit about your wearing actually as we close.
So it's actually a full tux, but I just decided to not wear the trousers. These are tuxedo pants. I have a blazer, but I just decided to break it down, and then black shoes at, after 6 o'clock. White pocket square, satin bow tie. This is a tuxedo shirt.
And you should tell them that your bow tie is hand, it's not a pre-done. Exactly, honey.
Real man.
Yeah. So it's hand tied.
Yeah.
Great. Annabelle talks about that all the time. Yeah. So where can people find you, Zeddy? We're closing the show now. Tell people where to find you. You're based in New York. Are you based here? How can people reach you?
Well, you can book an appointment right now if you go on my Instagram. You can shoot me an email on zl@naroknyc.com, and we'll get back to you.
Okay. And your Instagram is?
Zeddy Loki.
Okay.
And Narok NYC.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Give us an assessment of Kenyan men and their style. And not necessarily Bob, but
this I have to
are
hear.
Kenyan men getting there? Are Kenyan men wearing their suits right? We know there's a lot of stores here that are overpriced. Yeah. There's designers who we will not mention names of that are unreliable.
Yes.
Do not deliver stuff on time, just don't get the job done quite on time. What is your assessment of how Kenyan men are dressing, at least suit-wise?
I think we're doing good. I'm not Nigerian, I'm Kenyan, proudly Kenyan. So I represent the Kenyan men, and we're getting there. The thing is, like you said, we have stores that are overpriced, but that's business. I can't really comment on that. But Narok NYC is coming to Nairobi.
Yeah.
So like I said, we have a product now that we can say this is Kenyan. It doesn't really need to be by somebody else, but we're doing fine. Robert looks good, right?
Great. celebrity designer in studio this evening, Zeddy Loki of Narok NYC. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, Zeddy. Also, that's of course the fashion panelists. The hashtag is Fashion Watch. Please continue talking to us. So we'll see you again next week. Good night.